Hey everybody, it's Rob here at etrailer.com, and today we're going to be taking a look at the WeatherTech No-Drill Mud Flaps. Now they are going to be available for the rear as well as the front or the whole set. So if you just need protection for the rear wheels, you can get the rear, for the front, or if you want all the protection for the underneath of your Colorado, you can get it for the whole set. But that is one of the nicest things I like about them, is the fact that they are a no-drill mud flap. So we're not going to have to drill into our Colorado to get them in place, and having a mud flap definitely is going to help protect our truck. The underside ends up getting flung up with a lot of dirt, mud, rocks, all of that, and the rocker panels typically start to get scratched up. Especially on a black truck like this, you're going to see every little piece, even if it is just a surface scratch. So the mud flaps are going to keep all that dirt and debris from coming up and damaging the underside of our paint here. And if you have running boards on your truck like we do here, it's definitely going to help out protect those as well. Because as you can see, the front tire is definitely going to start flinging a lot of rocks, mud, and whatever else is on the road. It's going to end up coming up and catching our running boards or the bottom of the truck. And again, we got black running boards on here, so you're going to notice every little thing on there. But the mud flaps are going to really help protect them. And again, make sure we don't have to spend a lot of time cleaning them or worrying about all those scratches and then rust starts coming up. But you know, typically I don't really like mud flaps on vehicles, but these have a really clean look. Some of them are just kind of generic looking, where it's just a piece of rubber that's hanging down. Doesn't really look that good. But these, they follow the body line perfectly. So they look like they're from the factory, and they even match the black plastic that's already on there. So again, if you didn't know that we installed these, you probably think that they came from the factory. Now the way our mud flaps are going to be held on is they're actually going to use all factory mounting points. But it's also going to have a cam that's going to hook onto the fender. So not only is it going to be screwed in, but it's also going to be more or less clamped onto the fender here, so they're not moving once we have them in. And again, really nice the fact that we don't have to drill or make any permanent modifications to our Colorado. Now whether you decided to get the front or rear sets, they're going to install very similarly, and the nice thing about it is that WeatherTech even provides you with the tools, so you only need a driver to get them in place. In fact, let's go and do that together now. To begin our installation, we're going to start with our front mud flaps. Now if you just got the rear, we are going to install those as well, or if you got the whole set, we can walk you through how to get everything in. We're on the passenger front here, so we want to grab our mud flap, and they are going to be labeled. Have an RH for right hand, and also you can kind of just take your mud flap and you can sit it against the truck, and you can see it's going to follow the lines, and it's pretty obvious that this is supposed to be the front mud flap. So we have it ready for us here. Want to grab the Torx bit they provide you in the kit. Now they're not going to provide a driver, so you will have to provide that. But if you don't have a driver like this, you can also use a ratchet with a 1/4 inch hex socket, and it'll hold the bit nicely. If we look inside of our wheel well, right at the bottom here, we're going to have a couple fasteners right behind the tire. Then if we move up on that liner a little bit, there's going to be a third one right there. And we need to pull all three of these out, but you do want to hold on to the screws once you have them out. Now if we grab our mud flap, up here at the top, you're going to notice that we have this little cam and that Allen bolt. Now we need to rotate the cam or the Allen bolt until that silver piece right there is on the unlock side. So we'll take the included Allen key, we just want to turn that until it's over on the unlock side and kind of make sure it doesn't fold back over. Take our mud flap, and press it against the fender. And I always like to hold it close to that cam, and then we're going to take that included Allen key and we're going to rotate it to the right to where it goes into the locked position. And we want to keep tightening it just a little bit to where there's a little bit of tension on there. You don't really want to crank on it too much, just enough. There's a little bit of tension, and it holds that mud flap against the body. Now once it's in the locked position, it's holding still. We just want to replace the factory screws that we took out and just re-screw them back in place. Once you have this side installed, you can go to move to the other side, and it's going to be the exact same process. It's just going to be a mirror image. But we're going to go ahead and get the other side installed, and then we'll move to the rear and put those in place. To get the rear mud flaps in place, we're going to come to the rear wheel well, and at the very bottom here, right on the plastic panel, we're going to have a couple screws. I'm going to move in just a little bit. We're going to have a third one that's going to be pretty far inside, pretty much at the corner of the liner there. We're going to pull all three of these out, so we'll use that included Torx bit. You do just want to hold on to the hardware once you take it out. Then we can grab our mud flap. I want to make sure that cam is in the unlocked positions. Take that Allen key, turn it to the unlocked side, and we'll take our mud flap. We're going to position it to where it sits nice and flat against the body. Again, kind of push against the edge of it, and we'll turn that cam and tighten up that Allen bolt until it's snug. Again, you don't want to crank too hard, you just want it to get nice and snug so it'll hold it against the body. Then we can just replace those three factory screws. Make sure everything tightens down and goes back in place. And then once you have this side on, it's just a matter of putting the other side on. And again, it's just going to be a mirror image of this one. But again, I'm Rob here at etrailer.com, and that'll finish up your look at the WeatherTech No-Drill Custom Fit Mud Flaps on our 2020 Chevrolet Colorado.